Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 in the series between Lucifron versus Welmu. We see Lucifron spawning as the blue Terran player on the top right hand side of the map, meanwhile Welmu spawning as the red Protoss. So far things have been going well for one of these players. 1-0 lead. If you guys have not been watching the games, please do so and watch them in order. Now, what can we really say and what can we really expect with these particular styles, and what have we been seeing so far in game 1? Lucifron went for a little bit more of an I would call an unorthodox approach to his opening. He did get that early scouting Reaper, but he opted to not really go for, say, the really heavy marine pressure. He did try to go for a little bit of harassment. The Widow Mines, however, didn't do nearly as much, and then Welmu took a giant chunk out of his opponent's SCVs. With all of that said and done, though, Lucifron able to hang on and edge out in that final fight, coming out ahead as we are now moving into game 2 in with a 1-0 advantage for Lucifron. You can see barracks now being placed down here. You can see that the refinery is going to be placed here, and we should be seeing a reactor placed down here, as we may even get a command center right here. That Reaper expand coming in from Lucifron has become a real staple build, very strong economy, while not really risking all that much. Meanwhile, going up against what Welmu will most likely be placing down is a cybernetics core next, in order to start that warp gate tech, also to open up the rest of the Protoss tech tree. We can see here, Marines, a Reaper is being trained. We should be adding in that reactor here momentarily, as we are now finally moving out with these scouting units. One probe on the way out. We should be seeing up a command center be placed down here in just a moment. The reactor should be coming in right there, and it will be up to Welmu to... Oh, what is this? Welmu actually moving around the map with the probe in a rather unorthodox location. We may be seeing a proxy Stargate. Now, it is very common to proxy Stargate anywhere in here. It is on the high ground, but it is normally scouted out. This Reaper is not going to be that much smarter. He is not actually scouting out the bottom side here. And what Welmu is going to have to look for is a missing pylon. And surprisingly, this is not a missing pylon. Welmu is currently up an additional pylon here. So when this Reaper comes inside to take a look around, it doesn't look like anything's out of the ordinary. This is going to be a real big play, as we are going into a proxy robotics facility. Immortals could be added here. We can see double supply depots. There is that command center. We are going into a factory once more, and I don't know if that is the smart call. The Reaper now trying to get away. Is it going to be able to do exactly that? It is currently low on hit points. Oh, jumps back around to the wrong side. Instead of jumping this direction, actually jumped back towards the stalker, and that is going to hurt. We can see that the robotics facility is about to be completed. Bunker now on the front door. Double training of Marines. One Widow Mine being added, as Lucifron is going back into this 1-1-1 build. 1-1-1. Is it going to be enough to hold off what I expect to be Immortal Sentry all in off of one base? Observer are being trained up first. Not quite sure the reasoning behind the early Observer. Perhaps just being able to see up onto the high ground. There we go. There's the Immortal, as the Stalker now getting in some easy shots onto the SCV. Gonna go ahead and jump inside. Oh, even the SCV jumps inside there and is able to hold this back. Now, the Widow Mine. You got to remember, the Widow Mine is not that effective against Immortals. I don't believe it takes down all of the shields. You can see that there is going to be a Widow Mine being placed back over here. That is not the typical location, as Lucifron suspects that something is wrong. He is adding on a tech lab here, but that means he's going to be going into siege tanks, and with the siege tanks, the Immortals should be able to take them down relatively quickly. The question is going to be, are there enough Marines to really do anything about this? All right, you can see there is a handful of Marines right there. Supply depot now down. We are still training up more and more units as an SCV now makes its way down to the low ground. An observer is overhead, and it is going to be parking itself right there in the best possible spot. SCV scouting out, does not notice the proxy pylon, and Welmu is just purposely playing this, not tipping his hand. All right, in comes the orbital command. The orbital command will spot the proxy pylon down here, and there you go. A whole bunch of units already coming in. There's the guardian shield. Oh, the siege tank quickly gets sniped down, and that was a huge loss. Immortal is now able to blast back here. SCVs are or should be on auto repair. Not quite sure what they're doing. SCVs trying to get close, and SCVs get caught on the wrong side of the ramp. Wow. Huge loss there. A Widow Mine now making its way out to the far side of the field. You can see that there is all of these SCVs. Are they going to repair it in time? The Immortal just able to bunker bust that down so quickly. 2 Immortals in this group. Maximum damage as a third Immortal now coming in as well. Immortal taken down by SCVs, but the Immortal is actually in the back here dealing so much damage. And I believe this is going to be GG. Lucifron losing that one early siege tank, not having enough Marines, and Welmu taking a play out of Naniwa's playbook, doing this one base all-in strategy, dealing a lot of damage. You can see that there is going to be a Widow Mine hit there, 6 kills right there, but I believe it is still too little, too late. Not much is going to be happening at all, and there is the GG. Lucifron losing Game 2. We are all tied up as we go on into Game 3. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.